Hey, how you doing? Good.
Hi, Coach. Welcome home, finally.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Next 6 of 8 at home. How important are these home games?
It's go time. It's kind of my message to the team.
And when you take a look at this Mav squad, how different is it now with Kyrie, somebody Pels have faced a couple times already this season?
It's definitely different. You know, Kyrie brings a level of scoring that, you know, maybe you can compare Jalen Brunson, I guess, that kind of 1-2 punch that they had, and even Dinwiddie. But he's elite, and those two guys in isolations and pick and rolls, it's what they do well. So tonight will be another night where we have to be extremely aggressive, limit their touches, and then we have to attack on the offensive end.
Defensively, defending the perimeter as well. They've averaged 19.7 in the last 3 games, 3-point makes. So what are you going to have to do defensively there on the perimeter?
Contest shots. I think Hardaway is a big factor in that. You know, he's a recipient of Doncic and Kyrie Irving's gravity, and he's shooting the lights out of the gym right now, shooting the cover off the ball. So we have to be very aware of where he is, especially in transition. And once again, it's a game that you can't take everything away from these guys. They're going to touch the ball. They're going to make some shots. But we have to make them take tough shots and make tough shots and limit the other guys' scoring ability.
Scoring just seems to climb in the NBA every year, and it's kind of at a new high again this year. I mean, what are your general thoughts on the amount of shooting and skill that teams like Dallas, like Sacramento can put on the floor?
The scoring is, it's fun to watch. The talent that's in the NBA is at a all-time high. The ability for guys to shoot the 3 ball, get to the basket. You know, to a degree, I think defensively, you can't really touch guys in the NBA. You know, the moment you touch somebody, it's a foul. That's the one part of the game I think, you know, it's got to be consistent, and it's tough. It's tough to referee an NBA game, the speed, the strength, the size. But that's one reason the scoring is up the way it is.
Yeah, and on a different note, you guys just announced that Zion will be out at least 2 more weeks. What are your general thoughts knowing that you'll be without him, I guess, for a few more weeks here?
Well, my first thought is always for Z. You know, it's been tough, you know, dealing with the hamstring and, you know, working to get himself back, and then kind of, you know, having the same issue again. So we're always mindful of him. And then, you know, for the rest of the guys, we just know where we are. We got to go out, and guys have to step up. And like I said earlier in the press conference, it's go time for us.
And now that he's reached this point, is he allowed to do anything more on the practice floor? Or is he just doing more movement-wise? I guess, what is he being cleared to do at this point?
He's building his strength, doing some pool workouts. He can get on the alter G. He can get on the floor and spot shoot. So he's progressing, but, you know, we're extremely mindful of, you know, last time we got to 6 weeks and he wasn't quite ready. So we want to make sure we're mindful of that.
And I guess just what are the next steps he has to take in order to be able to get on the court before the season is over?
Well, we have to continue to look at the healing process like we did this time. And you guys got the message that went out. In 2 weeks, we'll look at them again and see where we are.
Coach, kind of on the same note, you touched on it, the locker room. How are they feeling the message from CJ and B.I.? How much are you going to just lean on the player leadership and not so much the messaging from the coaching staff, knowing this news is out?
It's important for all of us to pull together and continue to have these talks, discuss where we are, what are things that we're doing well, and what's a few things that we can improve. But, you know, the player leadership and accountability is important. We have that in our locker room. Brandon, CJ, Garrett, Larry, all of those guys have experience, and we're going to lean on them to lead us.
And to what you're doing on the court, just a month ago you said 35 three-pointers or more. It's had a month of a sample size. Is that something you're going to reevaluate, trying to go from 29th best to a top 10?
Absolutely. You in the league now, you you got to put up 35 or more three-pointers to give yourself a chance. And the way I explain it is, you're taking off 3 to 6 points off the board for you because chances are you're gonna knock a couple of them down.
After the All-Star break last year, once you guys got CJ and obviously didn't have Z, you were still a top 10 offense. I know Brandon's missed some time this year, but what's been the biggest difference between last year and this year with most of the same guys in not being able to get that offensive production, you think?
I think it starts with our confidence in each other and just going out and, trusting our work. And, we went through that tough stretch in January and it felt like it just continued. So, recognizing where we are, and then, two, I just think the NBA is better this year. You look at the teams, I haven't seen it like this where so many teams are in it, and I love it because it makes it more competitive. It's harder. It's more of a challenge, and we just have to meet those challenges.
Coach, going back to Zion, is there any optimism that he could make a return before the end of the regular season?
Yeah, we're definitely optimistic about that, yeah.
Hey, Willie, you talked about the confidence. How do you go about getting that back, especially with such a young team?
Do the things that we know we can control. Control the things that you can control. We can rebound the ball. We can knock down free throws. We can take care of the basketball offensively. We can play with force and pace. And when you do all of the things that are a part of our standard, you have an opportunity to win games. And I think we're there. We just got to get over the hump.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you guys.
Will you stay and watch this?